Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. First day on the job site. Here's what we have: an asphalt driveway, original with this house. So it's probably 80 years old. So it's got a lot of use out of it for sure. We're only gonna go back to this gate, this front gate. That back portion is phase 2, when the funding becomes available, basically. So we're just going to concentrate on the front area. We'll remove this walkway. We'll leave that step. We'll do the walkway and the driveway. We're going to widen that driveway out also. We're going to go 18 feet. And the property line is right on the neighbor's driveway edge. So we're going 18 feet from property line over, basically. The asphalt's coming out about 2 inches thick, which means we're going to most likely have to remove some dirt to get our depth that we want for the concrete. Because I like to get them about 4 inches deep for the new concrete. Especially when you're putting rebar in concrete, you need that depth because you want to get good coverage around your rebar. We also encountered a lot of roots in here. We broke a water main line too. Again, it seems to be fairly common for us lately. This particular water line we broke was a PVC service main. Now I'm just checking the grade here with the laser level. See if we have to remove more dirt, and I found out that we did, and there's the water main. Boom. One of the teeth on that bucket got a little deep and tagged it. Fortunately, it was PVC, so it was really easy to repair. And I'm using this flexible pipe repair. It's a flexible length of pipe that has 2 couplings built into it. So we just cut it about the right length, bend it around, and clean the pipe, put the glue on. You're done. I pressurized this in about 15 minutes, tested it for leaks. It was good, so we buried it. Now that existing driveway there, they poured up against the old asphalt, so we had to get the cutoff saw and kind of clean up the edge a little bit. You can kind of see how irregular that is. So we trimmed it up so we didn't have all that slag hanging off the edge. So we want a good clean vertical surface there to put the new concrete against. This whole job is about 780 square feet, which means 10 yards of concrete at 4 inches will cover about 800 square feet. So we have to grade this really right on the money, so we'll have enough in one load. Actually, I ran a little deep, but I was able to get an extra half a yard put on this particular concrete truck. I got lucky right there. Normally you can't get more than 10, but I was able to squeeze a half a yard extra on there, which made the difference because we ran out right at the end. Really hard ground here, which is good. We could have backed the concrete truck right up over this dirt without sinking, but we do have curb and gutter right there that we would have to back over, and there's a huge tree and there's some roots underneath it, big roots that have already raised the street, damaged the flow line of drainage in the street. So I figured, if we back the truck over there and if it is raised a bit from roots and stuff, it's probably just going to crush it. I didn't want to get into the street repairs, so I pumped it. We're going to run some number 3 rebar here, 2-foot centers. Also, I'm using a 3000 psi, and I'm adding fiber mesh reinforcement to the load when it gets to the job. I add that myself, so I can get a lot less money when I buy the fiber myself and add it. And I add about a pound per yard. You can go up to 3 pounds a yard, but I usually just go a pound per yard. Depends on your finish too. If you go 3 pounds a yard and you do a broom finish, you're gonna see it for a while. But at a pound, it doesn't really affect your broom finish. See those 2 corner bars there on that corner? That prevents cracking off the corner there. We add those on all corners, really reinforces them. Now my screed board system is a real simple one. It's a couple wood stakes with a 16 duplex at grade. And then I can slide that on top of that 16 duplex as we pour out and slide it along. Here we are, the dobies are in there, the concrete's coming in. Now I've got some felt paper or felt expansion paper over there along that gate where we meet the existing asphalt driveway where it's phase 2. The reason I used felt rather than foam in this scenario is because the felt is more rigid, and I was able to maintain a level area there underneath the gate, because the asphalt was at one side, it was about 2.5 inches lower than the other side, and I wanted the new driveway to be level, so I didn't match that driveway. There's a step at one end of that old asphalt driveway, about a 2-incher. Now I have I got a new guy out here finishing today, and he's 79 years old, and he's a concrete finisher. He's been doing it a long time, retired from the union actually. Now he just does it for fun. He brought all of his own tools out here, and he's definitely the definition of old school style. When I watched him operate, he broke out the old wood bow float. He did a real nice job with all of his tools. He used a Fresno, never used a funny trowel. Fresno only with weights. Funny float, no. He definitely old school style. Definitely gets it done. We're gonna also wet cut these joints with a joiner while the concrete's still wet, instead of saw cutting the next day like I do in some cases. But I have a lot of space here to run poles without banging against a wall or bushes or stuff. Not a lot of obstacles to run my poles. That makes it easy for joining stuff when you don't have all those things in the way. We're going about 8-foot squares, one all the way down the middle. It's about 8 foot by 9 foot squares, which is really optimal. You can go further when you got fiber and you got rebar and all those things. You could spread them out a bit, but if you had nothing in this, no reinforcement at all, 8 by 8 is ideal for pea gravel. So that particular break point right there is front city sidewalk, back of approach. And you can see the false lines there to represent a potential city sidewalk, maybe in the future. It'll go across all these houses basically if they ever put one in, but it's not likely that they will. So I did drop a couple pipes in from the main hose bib going into the house to the lawn area. I just dropped 2 3/4 there in case they want to put sprinklers out there at some point. They won't have to dig underneath, they're just there. So we ended up starting with the wood bowl float. We went to a funny float here and there. We went to a Fresno. We were working a funny trowel, walking edgers. We had the full package going on. So I started brooming this approach first, because I wanted that just a little bit rougher than everything else, because we're on more of an incline here for the entry. Nice thing about that water running down the gutter there, I was able to rinse my broom off in it and broom this out really nice. That's a horsehair broom. It's 50% horsehair and 50% nylon. It's about 85 degrees on the day of this pour, and the homeowner's at work, so I had to break out the concrete curing compound. Goes down white and dries clear. That way you know where you've sprayed it. I got a cone nozzle on this. They have fan nozzles too. The cone is by the best for this because you can get more distance by dialing it in. Now you don't really want to spray that on the bricks or the house or anything, because then you got to scrub it off with water or pressure wash it off. There it is. It's not 100% coverage with the compound, but it's probably 75%. Now it already cured. It's already dried out there, clear, because it's more in the sun. Park the car in front of it so nobody drives up on it. And that would be bad if someone decided to make a U-turn right there. You can see how the water sits in that gutter, and that's because of the tree that raised it up. Now it doesn't drain very well. Made it with one load too, and we ran out at the last end. There was nothing left in that truck. Some states you can carry as much as you want. There's no road limits, but around here you can do 10 yards. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell next to that, and then you'll get notification as soon as I upload these. Thanks. Have a good day.